Louisiana Travel Promotion Association. We have 800 members statewide. We're all in the tourism industry somehow. We have people that run convention and visitors bureaus, to festival organizers, to swamp tour operators, so people from all over the state who their primary job is to bring visitors in. This is the Lieutenant Governor's Tourism Summit. We have an annual event. We bring 400 people from all over the state. It's the premier tourism event of the year. We bring professionals together to really share what's going on in our industry, what the trends are. We have national speakers. We also hear from the Lieutenant Governor, Dardenne, who will tell us what the state of Louisiana Office of Tourism is doing, what their plans are, so that everybody can be on the same page and know where we're headed as an industry. The local tourism efforts are usually most parishes, I think there are 53 now, have a convention and visitors bureau. They're funded by a tax off of hotel rooms. So every year it's almost a report card. If they did well, then their taxes, they have more money. That money is used to then promote their parish. So we need the state office of tourism to promote, we need the local parishes to promote, and all of that trickles down into people staying in our hotels and enjoying our food and visiting our attractions.
Other states are making investments in tourism, and we're lagging behind, quite frankly. Our budget is a dedicated 3/100ths of a penny of sales tax. That's all that the state provides for tourism, but it provides a lot. It's about $23 million a year, but unfortunately, a large portion of that has been carved out by the legislature and redirected for other purposes. That limits our ability to advertise out of state to be truly competitive with the folks in the South that we want to compete with. I want to compete with Texas, and I want to compete with Florida, not simply Alabama and Mississippi and Arkansas. And to do that, we've got to make that investment to tell people who we are. We take a lot for granted in Louisiana with all the many assets we have, but it's important to constantly get your message out to convince people to come visit us and spend money here.
What kind of an impact will the Super Bowl have, not only on New Orleans, but the entire state?
Well, really the entire southern region, including as far as the Baton Rouge area and even beyond further west. We're estimating an over $400 million economic impact on the state in that greater New Orleans area, with folks who are coming in just a short week or so to spend a lot of time and a lot of money in Louisiana.
The legislative session begins in April. What are some of the areas of emphasis that you will have for this session?
We obviously are going to try and convince the legislature that the money directed to tourism and out-of-state advertising and marketing ought to be used for that purpose and not used for these pass-throughs that has been the case in the past several years. A lot of financial challenges that the state is facing, obviously, and we've been a major contributor trying to help deal with the shortfalls, but we really want to try and emphasize to legislators the importance of letting us use the money to advertise and market out of state, because the return on investment is literally $17 for every dollar we spend, according to an independent study from a couple of years ago. So that's a tremendous return on investment for the people of Louisiana.
The state support of local tourism is a true asset. You have to invest to make money. And the thing about it is with the state's investment in advertising, we're bringing $17 back to the state for every dollar in marketing that we spend. And that money goes to not just New Orleans, which everyone knows is one of our biggest tourism assets, but it goes throughout the state. Even small areas like Monroe, West Monroe, we see a return on that investment. We are seeing that in Ouachita Parish. We're the 8th largest producing parish of tourism industry dollars being returned to the state. So we are doing very well up in the northeast corner, where the state's advertising outside of state, when they go to Mississippi, Arkansas, even when they go to Atlanta, Chicago, some of those places, the people are coming, they want the full Louisiana experience, and so they're benefiting not only the larger cities, but also throughout the whole state. And like I said, the advertising is essential to that. If we're not out there fighting and getting Louisiana in front of the potential visitor, they're going to go somewhere else because the other states are spending that money. And we're competing against Florida, California, Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, all the different states in the South. You have those choices. And if Louisiana's not out there on a competitive market, we're not going to see those visitors. So it's very essential that the state be out there, getting our name out there. Louisiana, Louisiana, pick your passion, Louisiana, and all the different things that we have to offer. We're so unique, so that is definitely something that we have that stands out above the others. So we may not necessarily need to spend as much because we have something that is a great product. So it is definitely an asset for us to be out there selling the state throughout the U.S.
It's very important for state support for local tourism industry because it puts dollars in everybody's pockets, and not dollars that are recirculated throughout the community, but dollars that come in from other states and other countries that add valuable money to our economy.
What does the national advertising mean at the local level?
It means that more people are coming in from other areas and bringing their money in to spend in our state, in our local economies, and that's what builds the momentum, that's what builds small businesses, and that's the backbone of economic development and tourism.
Tourism is economic development, and it's a very important economic indicator for Louisiana as well as Southwest Louisiana. So we are here and we're excited that we're hosting the Louisiana Tourism Summit right here in the Lake Charles area.
Tell us a little bit about why is it important that the state invest in the promotion of the tourism industry?
Well, we depend upon the state to advertise nationally and internationally. Convention and visitor bureaus all across the state have budgets, but we don't have the kind of budget that allows us to advertise by ourselves in major markets, many of us. So we do cooperative advertising with the state of Louisiana Office of Tourism. So without a budget, that would it would prevent us from being able to do some cooperative advertising. It would also prevent some of our local festivals from being able to apply for grants to the State Office of Tourism. So our Louisiana Office of Tourism is a very hard-working department, and it is a revenue-generating department. It generates revenue for all the people in Louisiana through the taxes, and it's new money coming in.
How effective is the national advertising? What does national advertising mean at the local level for local tourism?
Well, it's very effective on the local level. We have people that contact us all the time because they've seen an ad or they've seen a television commercial about Louisiana. Television's very expensive, so we do very little of it. You know, people think about Louisiana like another country. They love our culture, they love our food, but at the same time we have to put that message out there. So we depend upon the Louisiana Office of Tourism to advertise nationally and internationally. They also have international representatives in about 6 different countries selling Louisiana across the seas.
Small communities and towns and parishes do not have the ability to go ahead and promote themselves throughout the country. So the state's advertising program is really designed to share with the people in the United States the unique culture of Louisiana and highlight and showcase all areas of the state.
Tourism makes money for the state of Louisiana. In all of our communities, whether it's the larger communities of Lake Charles and New Orleans and Baton Rouge, or the smaller communities like Natchitoches and Toledo Bend, we depend so much on the resources even of the Lieutenant Governor's Office and Culture, Recreation, and Tourism to fund those programs for us that are absolutely necessary to promote our communities. As an example, in the community I live in, we only have timber and agriculture and tourism. Tourism is our main resource for economic development in that area, and it's so important all across the state because most of your parishes in Louisiana are considered rural. So we depend on the grants that come out of there, we depend on the state parks that are in these regions, we depend on the museums, but we depend most on that marketing that they do internationally across the United States to bring people into our areas.
First, I'd like to just thank everyone for being here today, and I've seen many lieutenant governors, but Lieutenant Governor Dardenne is the only one I find embarrassing to speak after or before. Right, you can really see, and I go to a lot of things around the country and around the world where people talk about arts and culture and tourism, but the ease in which he speaks about this industry is amazing. It's a rare opportunity for us in this state to have a leader who has such tremendous understanding and depth of what we do. The thing about culture and tourism is it gives us a unique opportunity to talk about the things that are great about our society. Most of the times when you're in an elected position, you're discussing the things that are the challenges, but culture is the best of what humanity has to offer. It's the things that we want to leave when we're gone. It's the best of who we are as humans.
I think tourism is everything to Louisiana because I always think this state is like a person that is so unique and so special that you could tell somebody about them all day long, but then you say, you know what, you just have to meet them. And tourism is the way people meet our state and the way that they see our culture and experience what's special about us.
Tourism is an economic driver in our state. It creates our economy. Many thousands of people work in our industry. It's the seventh largest industry in our state. We employ thousands of people.
We're very encouraged and very optimistic. It's a challenging time for Louisiana from a financial standpoint. We all know that, and the country has been going through some difficult economic times, but tourism is growing. Our numbers are increasing. We've rebounded tremendously since Katrina, since Rita, since the other storms, and since the oil spill, and we're making great progress in the tourism industry. We want to keep it up. Louisiana is a wonderful place. We all know that. We want others outside of Louisiana to know it as well.